Om Agyana Timirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Namishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchikalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evicha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhari Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. So we are reading verse 9th chapter, 31st verse. So I will first read the Sanskrit. Vishuddhaya dharanaya hita shubh stadishayevashu gata yuddhi shramaha nivritti sarvendriya vritti vibhrama Tushtava Janyam Visarjanardanam. Word by word translation by Srila Prabhupada. Vishuddhaya, by purified, Dharanaya, meditation, Hata Shubhaha, one who has minimized the inauspicious qualities of material existence, Tat, him, Ikshaya, by looking on, Eva, simply, Ashu, immediately, Gata, having gone away, Yuddha, from the arrows, Shramaha, fatigue, Nivritta, being stopped, Sarva, all, Indriya, senses, Vritti, activities, Vibhrama, being widely engaged, Tushtav, he prayed, Janyam, the material tabernacle. I don't know what is that. Visrajan, while quitting Janardhanam to the controller of all living beings. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. By pure meditation, looking at Lord Shri Krishna, he at once was freed from all material inauspiciousness and was relieved of all bodily pains caused by the arrow wounds. Thus, all the external activities of his senses at once stopped, and he prayed transcendentally to the controller of all living beings while quitting his material body. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The material body is a gift of the material energy, technically called illusion. Identification with the material body is due to forgetfulness of our eternal relationship with the Lord. For a pure devotee of the Lord, like Bhismadev, the illusion was at once removed as soon as the Lord arrived. Lord Krishna is like the sun, and the illusory external material energy is like darkness. In the presence of the sun, there is no possibility that darkness can stand. Therefore, just on the arrival of Lord Krishna, all material contamination was completely removed. And Bhishmadeva was thus able to transcendentally situated by stopping the activities of the impure senses in collaboration with matter. The soul is originally pure, and so also the senses. By material contamination, the senses assume the role of imperfection, and revival of contact with the Supreme Lord, Lord Krishna, the senses again become freed from material contamination. I'll just repeat this line again. By revival of contact with the Supreme Lord Krishna, the senses again become freed from material contamination. Bhismadeva attained all these transcendental conditions prior to his leaving the material body because of the Lord's presence. The Lord is the controller and benefactor of all living beings. That is the verdict of all Vedas. He is the supreme eternity and living entity amongst all the eternal living beings. Nityo Nityanam Chetana Chetana Chetanash Chetananam Eko Bahunam Yo Vividhati Kaman from Katha Upanishad. And he alone provides all the necessities for all kinds of living beings. Thus, he provided all facilities to fulfill the transcendental desires of his great devotee Bhismadeva, who prayed as follows. So, I will once again offer my prayers to Srila Gurudev. Om Agyana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Tasmai Shri. So in this verse, there are 3 points actually that Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport. First, he's describing that what is this illusion, material body? Because in the verse, it is said, Sudha Goswami, he says that he at once was freed from all material inauspiciousness and was relieved of all bodily pains caused by the arrow wounds. So here first Srila Prabhupada is saying, what is that actually, what Krishna freed him from, like what is this illusion, what is the material body? So Srila Prabhupada is saying the material body is a gift of material energy, technically called illusion. Identification with the material body is due to the forgetfulness of our eternal relationship with the Lord. So I just wanted to say one thing on this point that Srila Prabhupada is saying, and please, everyone, please pitch in to save me today. As I said, I didn't know that I'm going to speak, and this verse is not easy either. So since the beginning, I had this strong question, and that question was not getting answered for me. That why, there are so many miseries, and why we go through so much pain. And so I asked this question from so many people. It was not getting answered for me. Then slowly I'm trying to understand, and slowly I'm getting it now. Still, whenever I'm in difficulty, this question, it doesn't come actually now anymore. But the answer I got was by listening to everyone, and by Srila Gurudev's mercy and Srila Prabhupada's mercy, is that like when a prisoner is in the jail, right, cannot expect to be happy, live a peaceful life. When one is in prison, then one has to go through difficult situations. And I might get, if I'm in prison, then I might get better cell, right, or better food if I bribe some jailer or some policeman over there in the prison. But it's not a happy feeling over there. So when I'm here, and why like, what is this material world? Like, why do I come here, right? So that was also difficult for me to understand in the beginning. And the reason is, I think it is Krishna Das Kaviraj who says this, about the Bahirmukha, when we turned our face from Krishna. So it's we who wanted to try to enjoy separately from him. and wanted to enjoy in the sense that, yes, I am the doer, I am doing it, I have done it. So that is why those three modes of material nature come into the picture. And this is what Srila Prabhupada is saying. The material body is the gift of material nature, technically called illusion. So although everything is done by Krishna only, and it's only our desire that is the driver. So okay, man proposes, God disposes. So yes, I desire something, then Krishna may sanction it based on our. There are a lot of things that it depends on based on our past reactions, karmas, and everything, whether we deserve it or not. So based on all those things, Krishna will sanction if we desire, right? So this is what the illusion is. That I don't want to remember Krishna. I don't want to remember God. I want to enjoy the material world in the sense that I want to be the doer. Like, this is a very graphic example, and we get it all the time. We hear it all the time in the lectures, and I will say it again to make my point. And that is that if mother is cooking, right, so the child comes in, and child says that I also want to cook, mama, I also want to cook. So mama will say, no, you will get burned, don't cook. Like when the kids are small, but when they grow up, when we ask them to cook and they don't cook. But when they're small, then they want to cook. So the baby will come and say, mama, please, can I also cook, can I also cook? Mama will say, okay, you want to cook so much that then mom will make a clay thing. Like when I was small, my mom made a clay stove for me, and this much small clay stove with the wooden stick, and we used to burn the clay stove and try to cook some rice in a little pot. So but what happens when mother gives us, most of the times we try to make the mud pies. Like I used to make the mud pies also, with the clay, make the mud pies, but the mud pie doesn't taste good. Means of course it does, and it cannot satisfy us also, right? So mother is making samosas, real samosas. When I eat that, I get satisfied, but I say, no, I want to do it myself. I want to do it. I want to. So mother says, okay, you go ahead, you go outside and make it with the clay. So when I make the mud pie or something, whatever, which is not real, it doesn't give us the satisfaction. So that is why uh, God has created this material world, because we wanted to enjoy separately from Krishna. So he said, all right, you go in there. And then there are three modes of material nature under which we try to enjoy separately. Like someone wants to enjoy, okay, I'm very good in study, I read scriptures, I'm very good in scriptures, right? Someone wants to enjoy in the sense that I want to do this, I want to get this, or I want to be successful in the business. And someone wants to enjoy just by sleeping like bear. I'm also one of those, like sleeping whole weekend kind of. So there are different ways, modes of material nature in which we can enjoy, and Krishna provides us that illusion. Why? Because we wanted it. So that is what Srila Prabhupada is saying. Identification with the material body is due to forgetfulness of our eternal relationship with the Lord. So since we want to if we this is one coin, this is one side of the coin, okay, but I will say it again. One side of the coin is that identification with the material body is due to forgetfulness of our eternal relationship with the Lord. And other side of the coin is that since we wanted to forget the Supreme Personality of Godhead, this material body is gifted, awarded to us. And but what happens, I will just add one more thing over here. It is not for Bhismadev, it's for me, right? And that is that when we try to enjoy here and live here, then we realize that everything is here, like, it's a reflection. It's a upside down, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 15th chapter. It's a upside down, it's a reflection of the spiritual world, right? But it's not same. It looks same. I think that yes, there is love over there, but that is one thing missing in this world, that is love. And this material world is just like it is the material world is just like, it's dark, and it's nothing but the laws of material nature. I think I love my son. I think I love my husband. I have done so much for my husband till now. Then why did this happen to me? Because it's not because what I'm doing right now, that is what giving me the result. It is because what I have done in my past life, that is giving the result of what I'm getting right now. So the result is not based on the love that, okay, I have given so much love to my kids, my sons. When they grow old, they will be independent. They may not remember me. Then I may think, why is it happening to me? I have put so much energy, so much my strength in bringing them up. It's like I have put so much of my water, of my energy into the kids, but they don't even remember me. Now they are, busy with their life. Why does it happen? The reason it happens is, but not for everyone. For some people, their kids might be taking good care of their parents. So why does it happen? Why? There are two things. Each parent is putting their whole life and soul. The reason is that the result is not based on what I am doing right now. The result is based on what I did previously. That means that's what my understanding. Please correct me if I'm wrong. What I'm getting in this moment, this life, it is based on what I did earlier. So it is basically the laws of material nature, those are acting. It's not love. If we want love, if there is the only way to get love is to love Krishna and go back to the spiritual world. Earlier I used to think that why cannot we have love over here? Then now I realize, like, means this world is with no love. If I want love, then I need to try to get out of here and try to at least cultivate my life. There is another thing that I would like to say is that this material world, it is created for two purposes, right? One is to because we wanted to enjoy separately, right? And second is to reform our tendency for enjoyment separately for Krishna. So this is what I try to remember in my situations, that okay, this situation has come, then I need to work on that. Because what is a material difficulty? What are the problems, right? Material problems, it's like lack of sense gratification in one way or the other, whether subtle sense gratification or gross sense gratification. So material difficulty comes when that sense gratification is taken away from us, or the object of sense gratification is taken away from us, right? So then that difficulty is basically a chance to correct. That is how I'm trying to see that the difficulty is chance to correct or reform our my ways of trying to enjoy rather than trying to enjoy. Um, try to serve devotees, and then when we serve devotees, then naturally, uh, Krishna is pleased. So this is what Srila Prabhupada is saying here is identification with the material body is due to the forgetfulness of our eternal relationship. So that is why we come into this material world, because we want to forget Krishna. But Bhishma Deva is not in that category at all. He's a pure devotee, and that is why the word Sutta Goswami, uh, uh, yes, Sutta Goswami, he says for Krishna, he is using the word Janardana. And when I was reading this verse, in even in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, when a particular name is used to call for Krishna, there is a reason. And Srila Prabhupada gives the reason in the purport that why Sutta Goswami called Krishna um, Janardana. So he's saying, he mentioned that verse from Katha Upanishad also. So he's saying that the Lord is the controller and benefactor of all living entities, Janardana, who support all living entities, right? That is the meaning of Janardana. And in Katha Upanishad, that's why Srila Prabhupada says, Nityo Nityanam, Chetanash Chetananam, Eko Bahunam Yo Vidhati Kaman. So there are many living entities, and it is only one living entity, that is Krishna, who is maintaining all the other living entities. So Srila Prabhupada is saying, the Lord is the controller and benefactor of all living beings. That is the verdict of all Vedas. He is the supreme eternity and living entity amongst all the eternal living beings. That is the meaning of this verse from Katha Upanishad. And then he's saying, and he alone provides all necessities for all kinds of living beings. Janardana, he provides all the necessities for all living beings. Therefore, that is why it is used Janardana, the word Janardana is used. Thus, he provided all facilities to fulfill the transcendental desire of his great devotee Bhishma Deva, who prayed as follows. So, Srila Prabhupada is giving little hint in next verse, in the following verses, the desire of Bhishma Deva will be described. The heart of Bhishma Deva will be described, that how he's praying to Krishna. So since Bhishma Deva wanted Krishna to be present when he's leaving his body, that is why Krishna was there. So Krishna, since he maintains all the living entities, so he's maintaining Bhishma Deva's desire also. So this is the desire, and that is I was just trying to relate, or Krishna is, Jagannath is trying to help me, that instead of saying vowels, I can speak something. So in the beginning, it's our material desire. Because of that, we come here, right? And then if we just change our desire, then we can go back. So here, Bhishma Deva, right? He, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada said that his senses were all purified by seeing Krishna in front of him. So when all his senses were completely purified, then Bhishma Deva, he was able to fix his mind completely on Krishna, and he was able to offer the prayers to Krishna in the following verses. So it is our desire that is the driving factor. We desire to come here, and Krishna gave us the facility. And by devotees' mercy, we get some desire to go back to Krishna, and then Krishna will provide us the uh, ways and situations so that we can learn to take shelter of Krishna. So basically, man proposes, God disposes. And that is what, those are the 2 points I really liked. And one thing I would say, like Srila Prabhupada says, that the soul also has senses. Like I was reading hearing one of Srila Prabhupada's lectures, and he was saying that soul has senses, and soul has the body. And because in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Vansansi Jinani Yatha Vihai. So based on our body, the body of the soul, we get our body. So he's saying Vansansi Jinani means like I'm wearing a coat. So the coat has sleeves. Why does cloth have sleeves? Because we have hands. That's why cloth has sleeves. Srila Prabhupada was saying the cloth is impersonal. The material energy is impersonal. But material energy provides us body because the soul has the body. So it's basically covering. The material energy is the covering of the body. And that is exactly what Srila Prabhupada is saying in the beginning. The material body is a gift of material energy, technically called illusion. So one thing I liked Srila Prabhupada's that example, it was long back I heard this lecture, but I liked that example. I remembered it. If someone, like I have a gulab jamun in front of me, and if someone or me, myself, if I cover my tongue with some cloth and then I eat gulab jamun, then I cannot taste it. So when our senses are covered, then we cannot perform pure devotional service, and then we cannot also feel the pleasure of that pleasure that pure devotees derive of performing the devotional service. Means if like I can say for myself, if I was really deriving the ananda pleasure in doing my devotional service, then why would I get really distressed in difficult situations? No. So senses are still impurified, right? So this is what Srila Prabhupada is saying. For the Bhismadev, his senses were purified, completely purified by seeing Krishna in front of him. And that is how he was able to fix his mind completely on Krishna, who was standing in front of him. And then he will be able to offer the prayers to Krishna. And this is all I have to say. If anyone else has anything to say. There is one more thing, just I was looking at the purport that came to my mind was that, therefore, just on the arrival of Lord Krishna, all material contamination was completely removed. I was just thinking when that day will be mine. Although I see the deities every day, but it doesn't happen. So, but Srila Prabhupada is saying, therefore, just on the arrival of Lord Krishna, all material contamination was completely removed. And why Krishna came to Bhismadev? Because it's Bhismadeva who desired it. That is why Krishna came. So everything depends on what we desire. And right now, I would just add one thing for myself. We still have like a lot of desires, and to purify our desire, I think we should invest more in hearing and at least reading Srila Prabhupada's books, Srila Prabhupada's purports. During the day, it becomes very difficult, especially for me when I start my work. Then after that, it's like I'm riding a different train. when I'm doing sadhana in the morning, it's a different train, but when I'm working, it's a different train, right? So in between, that is what I thought to myself. In between, I should just add at least chanting or reading to energize the soul. Like when I eat food, right? The food gives the energy to my body. So when I do the in between, when I'm doing my daily activities, if I do chanting or reading uh, Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, it will give the food to the soul. So we need both things. We need food to the body and at the same time food to the soul. So when I read this purport and the translation of Srila Prabhupada, for me, I thought that it is the desire that is moving us, right? So I need to work on my desire. And how the desire can be changed is by hearing more, by hearing more, by hearing more. Because by hearing, we get the taste. We really get the taste by hearing. Because uh, when reading is good on our own, and reading Srila Prabhupada's purports is then it's really good for us. And at the same time, hearing is also very important, from Srila Prabhupada and from our spiritual master or other great Vaishnavas we have in our movement. So it's very important to hear, because uh, when we hear, then we get the desire, uh, or something attracts us uh, while hearing. Like yesterday, I was hearing Damodar pastime, and I was really attracted to, when later when Krishna comes and to Yashoda Mai, and he really loves her, hugs her, and then Yashoda Mai feels better, because Yashoda Mai was feeling very bad later on after tying Krishna, and Krishna goes and uproots those trees. So Yashoda Mai was thinking, okay, I have put Krishna in difficulty, and she closed her room and she was like crying, and she said, I won't come out. And then how Nandu Baba, he uh, uh, he like channels Krishna, because Krishna is in baby Vatsalya. He's bringing out the Vatsalya love of Yashoda Mai and Nandu Baba. So Nandu Baba said that, won't you go to your ma? She's crying. So Krishna said no. So Yashoda, Nandu Baba said, then where will you drink your milk from? I will take the milk from the cows, Baba. Then Nandu Baba said, where will you hear the stories? I will hear from you, Baba. With whom will you sleep? I will sleep with you, Baba. So then Nandu Baba, he said something, and then Krishna started crying. No, 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 I want to go to my Yashoda Mai. And then he runs back where Yashoda Mai was there. And then uh, the moment Krishna comes and hugs Yashoda Mai, then Yashoda Mai forgets her, whatever she was feeling, and she's again energized by hugging Krishna, kissing Krishna. So when we hear these things, right, it it is attractive. It's like window to the spiritual world. That okay, yes, there is pure love, and then our desire, our heart gets purified. And I was hearing one more example of someone asked that how do we I still have jealousy. I don't want jealousy. I still have jealousy and all those bad things. So how do I get rid of those? So I was listening that, and then Shilentum Maharaj, he was saying that, just like you have to keep on chanting or keep on doing your spiritual activities, it's good. We should have a desire to not to desire those things, right? Not to have those things. But in the glass, if glass is filled with ink, how do we purify it, right? We keep on filling in the milk, uh, milk, the ink, it keeps on coming out. When all the milk is in, then the ink is out. So basically, we need to hear more, read more, make out time in our daily life to do that. And then at one point, we may desire like Bhishmadev, and our desire to enjoy separately from Krishna will go away. And this is the ink, desire to enjoy separately from Krishna. And desire to serve Krishna is like milk. So if we keep on pouring the milk, which is the narrations of Krishna, or hearing from the devotees, hearing about the devotees, then that ink will go out. The desire to enjoy will go out. Instead, desire to serve Krishna will come in. And that is what I was thinking. And I will just end it. And please pitch in for your realizations and comments. Thank you, everyone.
Hare Krishna, Anandani Priya Mataji.
Hare
Please
Krishna.
accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble
I can't
obeisances.
believe you did not prepare, but I think it just yeah, you just really went word by word, basically, and I very much appreciated that how you had seen the purport and went into the key points like the illusion and purification of senses and then desire. These three were highlights in that verse for me too. So when you elaborated on it very practically and very like simple language style, it made so much sense for me. So I want to just thank you for that. And the when you elaborated about illusion, I wanted to just add something that I read from Bhagavatam only. You might probably know this. It's from Kapila Dev's teachings in third canto. So you might know this, but I just want to just read it. Prabhupada is saying, right, in that every living entity. I don't know what the sentence is, but he says that this is called illusion or the energy of the what is that covering of material energy illusion. And then now he in this third canto purport 334 fourth verse, Prabhupada's purport is like this. It's really nice. The satisfaction of the living entity in a particular type of body, even if it is most abominable, is called illusion. He put it very simply.
Wow. That is
And and then and then he says that that illusion has two phases.
huh.
First phase is called prakshepatmika. Prakshepatmika and avaranatmika. You probably you've heard this, right? So avaranatmika means covering potency. It covers first, because when the living entity has to survive in this material world in almost unconscious state in one sense, right? We are unconscious. There's no consciousness. So to make us unconscious of Krishna, there is covering potency first, and then there is prakshepatmika, that is pulling down potency. First we get covered and then we get pulled down. So it's so scientific how things happen. And so I was just inspired to share this, and I really like these um, uh, way of explanation. So I thought I'll share this. When you elaborated on illusion, it made so much sense how a child would take mud and like make biscuits and rice and chapatis and pies and everything. The setup looks very similar. There's a stove, there is this, there is that, there is vessels, and there's atta and everything, but nothing is real. So
Yes.
first covering and then pulling down, you can't eat it. Fortunately
Yes.
for a child, there is the mother connection is there, so he goes back and eats the real food. Now we
Yes.
have to remind ourselves to go and connect with the mother and then take the real food. Otherwise, we are eating the the mud food and thinking we are satisfied. I mean, it's
Wow. Thank you so much. Yes, that's so true, Mataji. I was thinking of sharing that, and I forgot about that. What you said, right? That when the child is making mud pies, right, and goes back to mom and say, "Mom, can you please feed me the real food?" Mom will say, "No, why don't you eat your mud pies?" Mama, there is no. It is not good. No, no, go ahead, eat. You wanted to cook your own, right?
but
Then
yeah.
mother says, "No, that's okay, sweetheart. Now you eat this." So similarly, Krishna, right? So, but it goes so well. Thank you so much, Mataji. Yeah,
Thank you, Mataji. Thanks a lot for your nice discussion. Thank you.
thank you, Mataji. I'm glad I did not read the vowels in the sense that when Prabhu said in the morning, so I was thinking that maybe I will do e, u. While reading purport. So Krishna and Srila Prabhupada saved me. So thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much. I'm sorry, actually, a few days back I was thinking of calling. I called few people, but I thought you would be knowing. I missed again this morning. I was thinking, so good that I called 10 minutes before.
Yes,
But
you.
thank you so much, Mataji. It
No
was very
problem,
nice.
Prabhu.
As Sutrapa Mataji said, it was very nice practical examples that we can visualize. So we were just reading, third canto again. There Prabhupada was, and there are a lot of analogies Maitreya Muni gives. And
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhupada, sorry, Mataji.
Yeah, I'm listening, Prabhu. Yes, I said yes,
Yeah.
Prabhu. Sorry.
So I was just trying to connect those things. I was thinking a little bit. Reading those verses before the class. So I was thinking about this illusion there. There
Mhm.
actually, the analogy is like this: the living entity is in distress regarding his self-identity. He has no factual background, like a man who dreams that he sees his head is cut off. Right? In the dream that we see that our head is cut off.
Yes.
So, but how can we see that when our head is cut off? Right? It is like it's like an illusion. So same thing that we are suffering here, but
Wow.
actually the living entity is not. Doesn't have those things, but we are identifying with that thing, and then again we are looking at that we are suffering.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that example is very nice, Prabhu. That living entity sees in the dream the head is cut off, right?
Yeah,
So if the head is cut off, then how can living entity see? That means it is illusion, right?
that's right.
A
So
dream.
I was just thinking. Because we are identifying with the matter, so we are seeing that we are identifying the dream that we are seeing that. Right.
Right.
So just thinking about this, it was nice. The other example that you mentioned about the cooking with child cooking, yeah, is another nice practical one that we can relate it easily. So thank you,
Yes,
Mataji.
Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances also. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Again, I second what Shatarupa Mataji said and Lingaraja Prabhu said. Very beautifully present. My question is, I'm hoping you could share more deeper realizations that you have. You brought up this great example about bringing up children, and when they grow up, they become busy with their own lives and whatnot, right? I personally see, I was, both of your kids were in my Sunday school, I remember one day, when we went through a small exercise of, what is the most valuable thing in your life that you think. Both of your kids undoubtedly said, "It's my mom," and the love and affection she shared with us, or she keeps sharing, and the support she provides and whatnot. I think I was really moved at that time. So when you brought up this point about how we put a lot of energy, and it's not just children, right? In any service that we do or anything that we uptake, we put a lot of energy. But because of this, the nature of this material world, things move on in life, right? The world has to continue. So that service goes beyond us to somebody else, to somebody else. The service keeps moving, right?
Yes.
Yes. So I was just hoping you could share more realization about, because you are definitely ahead than most of us in the Grihastha ashram. How do we put context to it? Because we need to do justice to the service that is given to us, but knowing that we may also build attachment through it, and also that this service is not eternal for us, right? The service to Krishna is eternal. How do we? What should be our consciousness?
You mean when we are bringing up our kids or whatever we are doing, so that we do not get too attached to those, and that is what you are referring to, Prabhu? Because
Yes, Mataji. Yeah.
it will
I
move
mean,
on.
it could be children. It could be, you may hold a position in the temple, right? But eventually,
Yes.
we have to give up that position so that somebody else can take it forward, right? Or in anything in life comes to us as a responsibility, but at end of the day, at some point, we have to give it up, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Mhm.
Prabhu, I can give the example from my kids, because that is example I have. That is what I have gone through, right? So because now boys are old, like elder one is 20 years old and younger one is 18. So I can just share my side of story, and that is that somehow it's like that I have done my part, right? I have done my best um, to do justice to what my duty was, or like these like for example, Prabhu, that is how I look at it. These boys are not my boys. Means, yes, I have given birth to them, but they're individual souls, and they have independence. So many times I think that they have, it is the soul that came into the body, right? And it is the soul that will leave the body. So it is individual. They are not my sons at all. They are part and parcel of Krishna, right? So I have done my part in giving them best for what I can do, and bringing up in the best way I could do. I have learned a lot while doing that. But Prabhu, since they are individual souls, they will make their own decisions, and they will move on. Like in many things I see with my boys, that if they ask me or they are doing something, now they may not ask me, they may ask me. So first of all, I'm very careful whether they are asking my opinion or they are just letting me know. If they are asking my opinion, I confirm them with them twice. Do you need my input? When they say yes, then I give my input. And if they don't ask my input, Prabhu, then I don't give them input. Now they have become adult, and it's their turn to make decisions. Like, I'm I'm free from making decisions for them. So now they need to make decision. So that is how I keep myself detached, I think, from them, from the boys, that I have done my part. Now it's their life. And because Prabhu, the other sides, okay, when I'm telling you there are two sides. One is with the kids. So they are grown, they are adults now. They need to make their own decision, and they need to learn also how to make their own decision. For everything, they cannot come to me. So by making mistake, they will learn. Right now, they won't make big mistakes, right? So if now they learn, the better it is, because right now there won't be big mistakes, small mistakes. So they will learn, and that is how they will get the confidence. And on the other side, where is my focus? So my focus is, Prabhu, they have, I have done my part. Now it's their life. They need to take care of. I need to take care of my life. So I try to focus on more on my sadhana, and work on that part. So does it answer your question, Prabhu? So there are, I consider them as two different things. Kids are matured. They are grown up. They are gone. Now I have time to take care of my sadhana. And because there is a lot to work on myself, lot. And I do not want to leave my body uh, in the way I, with the consciousness I took birth. So at least I want to get to the better consciousness. And as I was saying, our life is the result of our desires. So now I can see back my life, how my desires were, how I got my this life. So at least I want to make my desire more purified. So that is what I focus on, Prabhu. My mind is focused on that now. So that is how, I don't know if I answered your question.
No, Mataji, I think you definitely shared a lot that is helping me contemplate about it. I think the part where you said where you have to separate our own goals and also our own responsibilities, differently put, meaning, there's individual goals that we need to completely be focusing on while we're also doing our responsibility. And I like the part where you really emphasized about helping them to make their own decisions and letting them learn from their mistakes at an early stage, because that's how we can become independent at some point of time, right? Meaning, if the children don't become independent, then we will feel a sense of responsibility for a long time, versus if we help them make their own decisions and be okay with them making mistakes, it will make them adults become adults quicker. And then, I think you shared a lot of points. Thank you so much, Mataji. I was hoping that you could share something from what you personally implemented in life, and I think you exactly touched upon it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhu, for defining it so nicely, my answer. There is just one more thing I wanted to say. This I learned from their Akhil school teacher, Akhil and Ane's school teacher. When Ane was small, he was in 2nd or 3rd grade. So when I went for the parent teacher conference, so she said, she was a very good teacher. She said that, Vishaka, you need to do not, actually I didn't used to force them, in the sense that I never knew what their homework was. I was not that involved with their studies. So but she said her viewpoint, that in this small grade, if they get even B or C or nothing, right, they are not losing anything. But what they will learn is, they will learn to do their homework on their own. So that point I really liked from her, and I took it on later on in other things also, Prabhu. That because after that, I have noticed that Akhil and Ane, they are very they do everything on their own. I don't have to do anything. Like right now for colleges and everything, I don't even know which college Anna is applying. They are Akhil, which colleges Akhil applied. They all did everything on their own. So that teacher's point was very good. Like rather than telling them do it, do it, do it, then they get at one point they say, okay, I'm not doing it. Even if it is good for them, they won't do. But if we let them make their own decision, then they choose it very carefully and they make the right decision. So this is what I learned from his teacher, Prabhu. So thank you, Prabhu.
Oh, thank you for sharing that, Mataji. Very beautiful. Yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji
Hare Krishna,
and
Mataji.
Mohan Prabhu. Thank you so much, Anandani Priya Mataji. I think it was very, your clarity for the purpose of your life is very inspiring for me, because that clarity is very rare. That I've done my responsibility, now I want to focus on myself, is something that is very rare, rarely found in general. Not just talking about devotees, I'm talking in general. It's very rare to find. So that's one thing. And then the second thing that I wanted to just add is, yes, I'm not talking from a parenting perspective, obviously, but Prabhu also asked about if we take up some service and it moves on or something like that. How do how do we take it? I mean, I don't know literally what Prabhu said, but something that touched me. It's I heard one thing from a senior devotee long back, really long back, that inspired me. It's not easy to practice, but it is worth to practice, I feel, many times for myself also, is that when we are given some service, we get attached to the person who gave the service to us, not to the service itself, in one sense, or person who empowers us to do the service. That is obviously our spiritual masters and the deities, or their lordships, whoever is our deities that we are worshipping. They are the ones who are empowering. And so if we, many times it's not, then there's no position or designation attached to it. We are working for the empowerer and not just for the service alone. So I don't know if I make it clear. I guess I'll put the sentence again. When we given a service, when we do a service, we get attached to the personalities who blessed us that service. That's Guru and Krishna, not just to the activity itself. Just wanted to share that. As easily I said, it's not easy as well for me, but just wanted to say that. Thank you.
Thank you, Shatarupa Mataji, for sharing that. I think it definitely needs a little bit contemplation for me, how to see from that angle. But thank you for sharing that, Mataji. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, Mataji. It is very uh, deep, and because when we attach, when we develop our attachment to the pure devotees, then the door to the spiritual world opens up. So when we are doing our service, if we do it, try to keep that in our mind, to develop attachment to our spiritual master or devotees, right? So that will elevate the consciousness. So that will elevate our consciousness. Yes. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Guru Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Very
Hare
nice.
Krishna, Mataji. Please
Very
accept my
nice,
humble obeisances.
very nice sharing, Mataji. Very sweet talk. I wanted to, if I'm not getting too personal, if I may ask, that when you think you are leaving your children as individuals, individuals capable of making their own decisions, everything. But is there, and you are becoming, trying to become the the pure devotee you want to be to Krishna. You are building on your relationship with Krishna alone. That's your portfolio. Just attaching yourself to devotional service and Krishna. So is there a component of like, do you tend to think about your sons being individual souls, whether they get directed towards the Lord in their pursuit of life? Is there an at least an element of concern or anxiety, or I just want to hear about that. Like whether you think of them as spirit souls, and whether how their life is going to be directed towards Krishna. Is that component exist at all? That worry, or is it a worry or an anxiety or a wish? I would like to hear about
It's not a worry, Mataji, but
Mm.
it's prayer to Jagannath ji.
Okay.
Because I cannot do anything more than that anymore, because they won't, even if I say something, they won't listen, right? So like for me, when I was growing up, I also I came in touch with devotees when I was doing my masters here. Before that, means our house environment was the devotional environment. We had Laddu Gopal ji, and we used to eat offered food and everything. But I don't worry that much, Mataji, because somehow I have been brought up in a very liberal environment. Like my mom and dad, they never forced me to do anything. And somehow I feel if we make decisions on our own, then we carry our decisions with us with confidence, and we do it with the real determination. And so if my kids, they do it on their own rather than me forcing them, then they will really do it. But if I force them, then for my satisfaction, it will look like they're doing it, but internally they may not be into it. So it has to come from inside. And when it came for me, then I'm sure it will come for them also, because I had nothing in, I did not get this kind of, environment. And the kids have Jagannathjis in home. They are eating prasadams in home. They're going to Gita camps since beginning. So, means this is what Jagannathji has to do, right?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I think Jagannathji will take care of them.
Take care of it. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
He worries about them more than I do, right? Like Prabhupada says that Krishna is more eager to take us back than we are eager to go back home.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm also parent thinking same kind of thing thoughts, so I wanted to share.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
yeah. Whenever efforts don't work, then our prayers work. So
thank you very much.
Thank you, Mataji.
Mate, just to think, Savyasachi Prabhu's hand is raised for quite some time. I just noticed. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Please accept my humble obeisances. This is all glories to Srila Prabhupada. It's a beautiful discussion. Very beautiful discussion. What Mohan Prabhu just said, and Mataji, you explained very beautifully that we have done the best we can in the early years. So that reminded me, I was listening to Gora Gopal Prabhu yesterday. He was talking about circle of concern and circle of influence. So circle of influence is where we are doing everything we can that's in our control. And circle of concern is which things that are no longer in our control. So Prabhuji was explaining that, giving a very good example of a farmer that we can find a very good soil. If we want to cultivate crops, when we can find very good soil, we can see it is in the sunlight view, it has water, and then we can put in the work. But then ultimately how the fruit will be, we have to just let it be and not worry about it. Leave the results, like Krishna says, not be attached to the results. So then the results are like the center of circle of concern, so that things we can't control. But you explained very beautifully, Mataji. We've just done everything we can to put in the work and the things that were in our control. So that just reminded me. I just thought I'll share.
Thank you for sharing, Prabhu. Very good example for that.
Yeah. And then when there are things that are in a circle of concern, then we can always draw our attention and energy and focus and our minds to other things that are in a center of influence. So maybe like you're doing, you're sharing your experiences. We can share our experiences with other parents, how we cultivated, how we put in the work, So if they want, we can plant those seeds again, working in the circle of influence, while also improving ourselves in our Krishna consciousness. So I just thought.
Last part I missed it. What did you say about last thing? What you said, Prabhu? I missed it. I was spaced out. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just saying that as we put in the work within our circle of influence, then like you said, Mataji, we can also advance in Krishna consciousness, but also share our experiences if other parents want it, who are raising their kids and they are still young, and how they did it, how they, so if they want our, if they want to see our experiences, like you just said, we can also help our experiences and share with them, so they can do things that are best in their control as well. Yes. So continue to focus on circle of influence, whether it is our kids or other parents or other community, always be in that contribution mentality.
That's nice, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, thank you. That was very relevant, very beautiful discussion. The other was the, finding happiness in this material world. So I was thinking, and it is a matter of consciousness. If we put Krishna in the center, then we can see how beautiful this world is, expertly organized, and so many souls. If we are connecting with others at a soul level, looking at them at part and parcel of Krishna, then we can see that selflessly serving other souls can bring us happiness. And that is kind of the window in the spiritual world. But if we put ourselves in the center, then there is no happiness, like you said, Mataji. There's absolutely zero chance of happiness when we are in the center.
Yes, Prabhu. Very nicely said. Yes, Prabhu. If we put Krishna in the center, then things fall in place.
Yeah. Thank you. Very nice.
Thank you, Prabhu.
She is into Krishna consciousness.
So no more comments or inputs, then we can end the call, Prabhu. Prabhu? If
Okay,
no more,
yes,
Prabhu. Sorry, I thought I was too slow.
No, I could hear. I was just waiting.
Okay, Prabhu. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Vanchkalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhya vicha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavabhyo